everybody, we're back! Another episode of AFC Northerners starting down the line.
Hey, Marc Herman, a.k.a. LA Bengal fan on Twitter, repping the Bengals.
Dave Green, Browns fan.
Jan David Sutar, Ravens with my cool little shirt. Boom.
Chris Atkins, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go on down the line with news, starting off with the Bengals.
You know what? Bengals are getting healthy just at the right time here. Bogway and Fisher back at practice. Tyler Croft, they kept this out of the news. I didn't hear about it till late yesterday, early today. He's actually been practicing since Monday. So we've got Tyler Croft full practice since Monday. He'll be back. Adam Jones, full participant in practice. Denard's back, but he's limited. Eifert's jogging and rehabbing. So is Brandon Thompson. Obviously, Billings, Pearman, Hardison, William Jackson III, all on the IR. The only one's going to return looks like Jackson or Pearman. So that's where we're at.
Excellent. All right, Brown stuff. Cool, man. We got rid of Gilbert. We unloaded him over there on...
Yes, welcome to Pittsburgh. Welcome to Pittsburgh.
That dude's a bust, big time, and it don't matter what...
Yeah, the fact that you're so excited about that is really kind of disconcerting.
That shows you how lean they are at secondary.
I'll talk about that.
We also unloaded Mingo to New England. I think Mingo actually will have a decent chance there to produce. I don't think the kid's a bust. I think he's just was in the wrong system to begin with.
Yeah.
So good luck to Mingo out there. Outside of that, we made a deal with Carolina. We shipped Andy Lee and we got a 4th rounder and we got Redford. Redford actually punted for us week 4 of the preseason. He had that beautiful drop kick. We recovered that inside the 20. At the end of that game, then we got rid of Redford and we acquired Colquitt from Denver. Colquitt is a younger version of Andy Lee and we get him at a cheaper rate. So I think we did actually pretty good there, and we continue to stockpile draft picks. Outside of that, we're looking really, really healthy. We got 2 guys that are injured, but it's just some hammy stuff. Not a big deal. They're not starters. They're not even second stringers. So I think we're looking really good.
Rock on. All right, yeah. All right, so moving on to Ravens, lots of craziness. First of all, there was the whole Justin Forsett deal, which I kind of, as soon as it kind of happened, it's Ozzy being
Hey, you know what? It worked out in their favor. He's back.
And that's the thing, like, everybody's freaking out. Look how we cut Forsett. I'm like, y'all just chill out, just watch. Because Ozzy is Ozzy, and Ozzy we trust. So, and not only that, but they signed him back for the exact same amount of money. Plus, if he breaks the yardage that he got from last year, he gets a $100,000 bonus. So, I mean...
So what, 790 some yards he has to rush for?
Yeah, basically, like, after he broke his arm, like, you know, a good chunk of the way of the season. So, yeah, it's great to see, like, you know, Dennis Pitt is back to practicing, so he'll be ready. Like, there's, you know, just having our
last hit Pitta.
Like, yeah, I know, right? Like, honestly, I might get shit for that, but I love the guy. I'm not gonna lie, I fucking love Pitta. So also saying, like, we also got was it Butler wound up going to a practice squad in Tampa Bay, which I loved Butler. I thought he was a great kid, dude had good hands. Like, that was a really tough call. Harbaugh even said, like, he was just one of those guys we couldn't figure out a C for, and a lot of people were sitting there saying, "Oh, why don't you get rid of this person?"
That's because he's planning on being healthy this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Why didn't you start out with the excuses?
It's okay. It's fine, because at the end of the thing, you're still going to go 1-16.
No.
I don't agree with that, but
no, I don't really agree with it either. But it's like Sports Illustrated just like killed the Browns. And then Brian Billick said always 16.
I don't get it. I thought you guys were set up to like do a lot better this year, and now everyone's shitting on you guys right before the season.
Because it's the Browns.
Because it's the Browns, and we haven't done anything to prove them otherwise.
Right.
This is the year we come out and we prove them wrong.
I just want to wrap up real quick with other news. It's great to have all of our starters, you know, basically looking like they're healthy, like, and also really, I just want to reach out and say that, like, the biggest question mark that we really have are the tight end situation, what that's going to look like, and what it's going to look like with Ronnie Stanley and Alex Lewis there at that position, because they're question marks. I mean, they're like, Stanley's a first round draft question mark, but how's that going to be first game against a Rex Ryan, you know, defense?
Yeah,
and we'll get into that.
Defensive line.
Stanley's good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm excited. So moving on to Steelers.
I'll start off with the injuries. There's so many. I'll just start with the top 5 that are going to impact the team here. One is Bud Dupree. It's looking really bad for Bud. I'm hearing he could even have surgery that could end the season. He's got a sports hernia. Really had high hopes for him coming into this year. We'll have to see what happens to him. Roosevelt Nix, he's the only fullback we have on the team. He may or may not be ready to go on Monday. If he can, expect someone from the tight end committee, not named Jesse James, to be in the backfield trying to block. Sorry, Jesse, you're just not the best blocker. Cameron Hayward had the high ankle sprain a couple weeks ago. He's expected to go, but I mean, high ankle sprains are kind of tricky. It could be a couple weeks, it could be a couple months to try out from that. And then Hargrave and McCullers. This just sucks for Hargrave. The same day he was named a starter, he hurts his knee, comes out of practice. We don't know what's going to happen with him. What makes that even worse is that the number 2, McCullers, also has a knee injury. So we're going to have to see what's going to happen there with that front 7. Luckily, I don't think the Redskins are going to be running the ball crazy on us, so hopefully we can cover for him in his first game here. Transactions, I'm not too happy about us giving up Doran Grant. But what that did, it opens up the door for a first-round pick, Justin Gilbert. Thank you very much. You get a 6th-round pick.
Yeah, we'll take the 6th round.
I mean, we did firsthand. So they were happy with the 6th. That tells you something.
He will party like Manziel did. The guy just does not want it.
We need
He's got
him for
raw
one
talent,
thing.
but doesn't want it.
We need him for one. Doran Grant probably wasn't going to start. We need Justin for one thing, to return kicks, and he can do that.
Our secondary is crap, and we got rid of him. I mean, come on, are you serious?
You're talking about a team that
we got rid of K'Wan Williams, Pierre Desi, both DBs. We cut them. We get rid of Gilbert.
I don't think we're looking at him as a DB. I really think we're looking at him as a kick returner.
No, they're looking at him. They need him in the secondary.
We'll take whatever body we can get out.
But they were willing to take a 6th for him, and they knew who he was, and they were willing to take a 6th. So
we thank you for that draft.
Absolutely.
Something I thought was interesting. We dropped Dustin Vaughn. We go out and get Zach Mettenberger from San Diego. Zach, be ready, because if something happens to Ben, I just don't have that much confidence in Bones Jones right now. You can go out there and compete for that 2nd-string quarterback. If something does happen to Ben, maybe you find yourself out there in the mix. But Darius Green, this just went from weird to weirder.
Yeah.
I mean, first it was the ankle, like, oh yeah, don't worry about it.
And the headaches.
Maybe a couple weeks, I'll be back on the field. Have seen nothing from this guy. I really thought that he was going to be the guy that let Jesse James kind of develop for a couple of years and coach him up, teach him a little bit. He's a total mystery, total enigma right now. I have no idea if he's going to play this season. I mean, I don't know if it's headaches, concussions. We just don't know what's going on there. But good news. My man Antonio Brown, AB, got his money, plus $4 million for him. So let me explain how this works.
Smart play.
We have the rule where we don't extend players beyond a year from their expiration date. What the Steelers did here is they're going to advance him $4 million from 2017. But don't worry, he's not going to miss that, because at the end of this year, he's going to get a new deal. It's going to include 2017 anyway, so he's never going to miss that $4 million.
There you go.
Right.
Oh, I meant to chime in real quick. Also, with the Justin Forsett deal, allowed us to get Devin Hester.
Right.
Which
freed up cap space. It was a good move.
God.
They played games with the books. It was a good move.
And we needed that special teams influence. All right, so moving on to our preseason wrap-up.
Yeah.
Last 2 games.
Okay, well, biggest surprise for the Bengals was the cutting of P.J. Dawson.
Yeah.
He was our 3rd-round pick a couple years, our last, not this last draft, but the draft before. He never really developed last year. I heard that a lot of the problem was the learning curve, that he just wasn't picking up the book and study aspect of the game. Has all the physical tools, so the Bengals basically just released him, hoping they would get him back. They do have a spot on the practice squad, but it was just a big surprise. I know he visited with the Buccaneers, no takers. Hopefully he winds back up on the practice squad and we can continue to develop him. Also, we cut Brandon Tate, which I'm actually happy with, because we kept Alex Erickson, who, I mean, if anybody deserved a roster spot with the preseason they had, that guy really deserved a roster spot. So, and that gets it into how I want to recap here is the wide receivers. All the analysts all preseason talked about was how the Bengal offense was going to take a step back because they lost Sanu and they lost Jones. You know, if you look at Tyler Boyd and you look at Cody Core and you look at Alex Erickson, I don't think we're going to miss a beat. I mean, these guys still are learning, but these guys all showed flashes. Tyler Boyd made a great catch in that Detroit game where Andy Dalton actually let him a little too much, and he leaves his feet and makes the catch.
Yeah.
Cody Core has had a bunch of great catches, but one where he really just showed his speed. Little push off with the arm, but just got past the defender and showed his
you don't
speed.
get caught doing it.
And Alex Erickson, you see it as his punt returns, and you just see it in these little passes over the middle where he just knows how to work in traffic.
Wow.
He's going to be a great slot receiver and a great punt returner. So I really think, the one thing to come out of preseason here was just the development and how blessed we are with these 3 receivers that we got.
Yeah.
So, like I said, and you're talking about a second, a 5th round, and an undrafted free agent. So I'm really happy. So that's the wrap up for the Bengals preseason, and looking forward to the start of this season.
Right.
All right, Brownies. We had trouble tackling both week 3, week 4. Week 3, the offensive line gave up 8 sacks. That's not.
Yeah, I went back and
Those
watched.
were the first sacks that we gave up all preseason, if I'm not mistaken on that. So we gave up 8 in one game. We came back and we corrected the situation a little bit better in the 4th game.
Do you know how many of those were on RG3? Just by chance?
I think it was like maybe 3.
Yeah.
But they
But I
definitely
don't
took a
think
step back.
I don't think it was directly his fault. I think the offensive line, because we're trying to put that right side together, I think it's just a matter of them gelling. NRG maybe holding onto the ball
He hangs
a little
onto
bit
the
too
ball.
long.
He hangs
on
onto
that
the
one
ball.
sack. I think that's stuff that we're going to have to live with Griffin at the quarterback. So I'm willing to deal with that as long as he can continue to knock 40-yard pass plays. Those first 3 games, we had at least one pass play of 40-plus yards. So I think we're going to be a really potent offense. I think we're just going to have to deal with the negatives that come with Griffin. I am happy to see him acknowledge the fact that he has to throw the ball away when he's running with it instead of trying to run the ball. He's sliding. That's a good thing right there. Bears-Browns highlights. The only things I can really talk about with that shit is that was just a boring, miserable game to watch.
It was. Thank you for saying that, because I was like, wow.
In all honesty,
go make some stuff.
it was a snooze fest. It sucked to watch us get blown out, but like we discussed on the last video, it was the 4th preseason game.
Yeah.
We kept the starters out there a little bit longer just so they can get some more work in, as evidence from the week 3 game. I think we're headed in the right direction. It's going to be fun to watch what we do here opening week.
Yeah.
Brown stuff. I wish we would have kept Mike Matthews. I wish we would have added him to the practice squad. But
Yeah. All right, so coming up on the Ravens, last preseason game against the Saints, it was good to see Brashad Perryman actually exist.
It was exciting.
Yeah, it was actually exciting.
on the field.
Like, he did have a
On the
drop.
sideline, you know.
Pads him.
Like, he did have a drop. I was like, that could have been a little bit better. But dude is fast. Dude is big. Dude is he as advertised? I still don't know. It'll take regular season to slam that out. It broke my heart, like, knowing that Johnson is gone as a QB, like, he's to another team, but, like, because he wasn't bad. But the thing that I see why they let him go, because his aim under pressure wasn't as good as it needed to be. It was great to see, like, our starting defense out there and really get in, like, to not allow anything more than, like, field goals in the first half was awesome. And also, like, a great job on the secondary, like, really trying to contain things. There was, who was it? Tavon Powers. I think it was Powers. That kid needs to get some reps on blocking, because he wasn't good at tackling. He definitely needed to step that up. It was great again to see, like, us win all 4 preseason games, but we all know that doesn't mean shit.
Doesn't mean anything.
We already said the winless Lions.
Yeah, exactly.
We're 4-0 in the preseason.
Exactly.
I think you almost do want to lose a couple. Like, you want to take some chances, roll the dice out there, and see what you got on the bench. And, I don't know.
Yeah, it was also good to see, like, like Harbaugh going for it again, like on downs, really kind of pushing it. Seeing the run game, Terrence West was just a thing of beauty to watch. Buck Allen, oh my God, that kid is, he's more and more becoming like a tank. I love seeing that. So I'm excited for our run game. Still huge question marks for me at tight end. Like, I still don't know exactly what's going on, because I just don't know what to do there. Anyway, so recap, basically too long didn't read. It's exciting. We still got a lot of question marks, and we'll figure that out in the preview.
Yeah.
So,
Well, for the Steelers, I'll keep it brief. I mean, what I want to talk about here are kind of the winners and losers in my eyes from the preseason. A couple guys I'm going to call out as the losers here. I've already talked about Ladarius Green. I mean, totally disappointed. Didn't even get on the field. I was really expecting to see something. Came up with nothing. Another guy I'll talk about here, Sammy Coates. He had a good game in the touchdown party that we had against the Saints. Beautiful touchdown there. But he did not have he did not have the production I was looking for.
It's the Saints.
He came into the preseason as kind of the crowned next guy for the Steelers.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening just yet. Not counting him out, I think he's going to probably take a little bit of time to develop. And again, it was the preseason. And Ben played very little this preseason. I mean, he was having Bones Jones, backups throw to him.
Well, I mean, Flacco, same thing. Barely played during the preseason.
These guys know what they're doing. I mean, you don't need to see these guys in the preseason. So I'll be a lot more interested to see how Sammy Coates reacts to having Ben at the helm there. I'm still excited for him. I want to see what happens. A couple guys I'm really excited about. Daryl Richardson. He was the running back that came in and just really put on a show for us. He's a real tiny guy. Really put on a show for us. He led the team with 39 attempts, 124 rushing yards. Yeah, had some touchdowns. Saw him make some special teams plays. But, when Bell comes back, what's going to happen? We're going to have D'Angelo Williams in there.
God, I pray it's D. Williams, fantasy-wise.
Might get your wish. So it's going to be up to Richardson and Fitz Toussaint, I think, to have that third spot. Fitz, I don't know. I mean, Daryl Richardson ran really hard in that preseason. The other guy is Eli Rogers. Back on August 10th, we were fortunate enough to be featured on New Stripe City. Awesome show. If you haven't seen it yet, check that out.
Yeah.
But I was talking about Eli Rogers back on that show, and he's even impressed me. Back then, I was saying he might get the 4th or 5th receiver spot. Now I'm hearing he might be the 3rd receiver behind Brown and I can't think of his name right now.
You guys got a second wide receiver.
Wallace.
I know, right?
Yeah, I always thought you had Brown. I figured that was just holograms of Brown.
That guy.
That guy. Either way, Eli Rogers may be our 3rd receiver. He's going to be out there returning kicks as well. I'm liking what I'm seeing from him. I'm excited for the offense this season. Another guy is Anthony Chickalow. He got dinged up towards the end of the preseason there. He would have had his chance here with Hayward being a little dinged up in this first game. You could have been out there. It's not your fault you got dinged up, but this could have been your time to shine.
Where Green messed you guys up is you could have gone out and got a different tight end.
Yeah.
You've known he had all these issues, and he kind of stonewalled you. Now he's on your injured reserve, but it was like, you didn't get anybody else because you thought you had somebody.
Yeah.
That was your big free agent signing, and it turned out to be a mirage.
He didn't play that bad in San Diego either, backing up Gates.
He's a good player, and he would have fit in so well in our scheme. We're going to throw the ball. No surprise there, guy. We're going to throw the ball. He would have fit in really well there.
All right, moving on to our previews for regular season.
That's right.
Woo!
Well, Bengals open on the road for the 7th straight year. We're going to be opening in New York. Now, this is a tough defensive team. This is probably going to be a lower scoring type of game. I don't see Jeremy Hill having a big game. If we do have any success on the ground, it's going to be Gio out of the backfield, Gio in the slot. Kind of similar to the pass you saw in the Jacksonville game. That's how they're going to use him. Great to hear that Tyler Kroft's back because we need to open it up on the passing lanes. Revis can only cover one guy.
Yeah.
So if he takes out A.J. Green, we got plenty of other weapons for Andy to throw to. But I really see us going in there. Our defensive line and our offensive lines have really had perfect preseasons. And I'm just talking about watching the first half of games. We've led almost every game going into halftime. We've dominated most of those games. Jacksonville game we lost, we were up 21-3 in the 3rd quarter. So, the important part of the game, I really see us controlling the line of scrimmage both ways. I look for the Bengals to at least put up 24. I'm hoping they keep them down to maybe 13. But it's going to be a lower scoring game, but I think the Bengals dominate this game.
Very cool, very cool.
Moving on, Browns.
All right, hey, we're going to Philadelphia. That's going to be a really interesting one right there. We passed on Wentz in the draft. They're going to start Wentz due to their shipment of Bradford to Minnesota.
Yeah.
Bridgewater, we hope you get better soon.
Yeah, definitely.
That sucks.
All right, so some numbers from the Eagles preseason. They had 108 plays on the ground. They averaged 3.5 yards a carry. They had 145 plays in the air, which was for 5.6. This clearly is a team that's going to dink and dunk on us. All right, they're not going to really use Matthews a lot out of the backfield. Watch for Sproles to really take control of this game. I think Matthews becomes a non-factor somewhere in between the second and the third quarter. Let's see here. We've got, for them, injuries. They got Vinny Curry at defensive end and Bryce Treggs at wide receiver. They like to run that 4-3 set on the defense, and they're going to run a 3 wide receiver set on us on offense with Aguilar, Jordan Matthews, and Josh Huff. Sorry about that. Browns, I think we have a chance at this one. Just based upon those preseason numbers alone. I think if we can put up at least 21, I think we have enough to beat these guys. I don't see, their defense is going to be decent. I'd watch out for, it's not going to come to me, I got to look, sorry peeps. And I had it written down and it's not there.
Just take a guess.
Yeah.
Fletcher, London Fletcher.
There you go.
Watch out for him on their defensive line, and then watch out for Jordan Hicks at middle linebacker. I found it in my damn notes. I got like a shit ton of this shit.
By the way, your prediction for your game
Was 24-13.
24-13. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so Brown stuff for this game. Schobert was named the starter along with Jamar Taylor. He's going to play opposite of Hayden. I think the Browns are going to pull this one out in a squeaker, 21-19.
Yeah.
It's going to come down late.
21-19.
You're going up against a rookie quarterback on literally his first start.
On his first start.
Yeah, so.
And as a Browns fan, and as Browns fans know, rookie quarterbacks in their first start have a lot of jitters. So I think we get this one, 21-19 Browns.
All right.
And it's Fletcher Cox.
Fletcher Cox.
London Fletcher was
London
the Rams.
Fletcher.
Was the
Rams.
Rams.
Fletcher.
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry.
Yeah. All right, so
It's Philadelphia. Really gives a fuck.
all right, so Ravens Bills at M&T Bank Stadium, our home opener. This game, for a lot of reasons, has a lot of questions to it because you've got a head coach that was formerly a Ravens coach. You've got a DB coach that's formerly a ball hawk by the name of Ed Reed. You've got their starting QB who was our former Ravens backup QB. You have a lot of Ravens on the Bills that are in leadership positions, and that's tough because we know that Rex Ryan loves to come at the blitz, and he's going to come at hard. We know that with Ed Reed, he's going to be pushing like every single thing that Joe Flacco does.
Yes.
Like here's what you got to watch for.
Yep.
And then you got Tyrod Taylor, who knows our defense. He's played against our defense in practice the entire season. He knows them by name, like he knows them.
It's not a good matchup.
It's not a good matchup.
Taylor is going to
Don't let him
light you
outside.
guys.
No,
up.
exactly.
Don't let him outside.
The key to really having this game won is for the defense to contain Tyrod. They have to contain him. The good news is that we have 2 brilliant safeties. The switch from making Ladarius Webby over to a safety has worked out extremely well in practice and in preseason. And Eric Weddle and his beard are something to be feared. So fear the beard. Fear the beard.
Shave it though?
Whoa, you can't use fear the beard.
Okay.
That's Brett Keith. You can't say fear the beard.
Fear the beard.
Yeah.
Not to mention that we've got Jimmy Smith back. Sharice Wright is his right-hand man. They're looking good. But there's still how is Sizzle going to play off of that?
Well, I was going to say, you have no Doomerville, but...
And Doomerville's out.
How does Sizzle look? I mean, you've got both your outside linebackers coming back off big injuries.
But we also have, what we've got in Matt Judon, we've got in CJ Mosley, having those guys back in. Caballero Correa has got such a high motor, but he's still a little raw. So there's a lot of questions on that end. As far as offense, I mean, we have so many young wide receivers that we're trying to figure out exactly what we're doing. In Brashad
A really
Perryman.
old one.
Yeah, exactly.
One really old.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we also got a return special in Devin Hester, but he's a question mark because of his time in the Falcons.
They actually got 2 really old wide receivers.
Yeah, exactly. He's like 33 now. Yeah, Devin Hester's 33.
Yeah, he's up there.
He's 33. And then, so you got Steve Smith back, and he's all about it. He's emotional, and I love Steve Smith to death, but he's getting
Eventually,
old.
Father Time never loses.
Yeah,
he's undefeated.
He's exactly. So Rashad Perriman, what's he about? Trying to figure out all these wide receivers. Plus at running back, you got Justin Forsett, who is doing everything he can. He wants to break his old records. Dixon
That's
looks
the
good.
bonus.
You also got Buck Allen, who's looking good. So we've got a lot of possibility, but there's still a lot of questions. So basically, like, for the offense, we've got to make sure that, there's chemistry between Flacco and our wide receivers and our smattering of tight ends. And on defense, we've got to make sure that we contain Tyrod Taylor. If we can do those things, and I believe that we can, I think it's going to be a very close game. I think it's going to be 10-7 Ravens.
If you win, who's the hero?
Dude, I can't call that.
If it's 10-7 and they
If
win,
it's 10-7,
the hero's on defense.
Yeah,
No,
it's
the
like,
hero's
hero's
on defense.
If it's 10-7, then that's the front seven. I mean, that's the defense.
Okay.
All right, moving on, Steelers.
Steelers are going to Washington to take on the Redskins, a.k.a. the Washington Football Club. And I'm really excited about this. I got to see Antonio Brown really just a one time against the Saints in a dress rehearsal. Had a beautiful touchdown. Beautiful touchdown, and I cannot wait to see him take Josh Norman up and down the field. Norman's been waiting for this. He's an incredible D-back. I'm really excited to see that matchup. I just don't know how it's going to go yet. The Steelers have taken the last 5 from the Redskins. A few of those in Washington, so not too worried. And the Steelers have the 3rd highest winning percentage on Monday Night Football, about 64%. I think we're going to go in there, do what we need to do. I think we're really going to limit their run game. The passing game, we may have some issues. So if we do lose this one, I see them having 3 to 4 touchdowns through the air. I mean, Kirk Cousins is no joke.
No,
I don't want to mess around with that guy.
I have Deshaun Jackson on one of my fantasy teams, and he's in the top 5 this week. So
Jackson
clearly
Yeah.
they've got him slated to have a big week. So, you might have your issues there.
Yeah.
You have to put up some points to win.
A little worried about that. Even though he does fumble the ball in the 1-yard line sometime by himself and no one around him. But we'll see.
That was once.
It's happened twice now. I think twice.
That's a mistake you make once.
Most people make that once. I see us going down there and taking this one 25-17. Again, I see them having a couple touchdowns, probably 1, 2 through the air, a field goal. I see us lighting up a little bit more than that. But we're going to have our bumps there because we do have some guys out on defense, so they might get that ground game working a little bit.
Remember, you're going to FedEx Field, which is a crappy surface.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah.
What's your prediction?
25-17.
25-17. Okay, Steelers.
That pause. The uncomfortable pause.
All right, guys. We want to send shout-outs real quick to our commenters on YouTube. Had some new guys. Jackie Barapat 101. Jackie Barapat 101. Thanks very much. Connor Johnson, Christian McCoy, Cisco Kid with a double D at the end.
Cisco Kid.
Thanks for chiming in there. Gibson Acoustic was up on there. Federico Miranda, man, I love that guy. He's booked.
I'm so sorry we couldn't get you in this year.
Yeah, dude.
Please stick around with us. Next year you're in.
Yeah.
So excited for fantasy,
Dude,
by the way.
so excited for fantasy. Michael Sweed, Red Storm, Andrew Moore, all of those guys. So again, guys, thank you so much for coming. Really appreciate it. It allows us to really get to know you. You get to know us, and we love that. We're also all going to be at our respective bars watching the game. Where are you going to be at?
Yeah, 5 Line Tavern, Bengals West Crowd, Eagle Rock.
Awesome.
I have a shift later in the afternoon, so I'll be kind of just watching it at home and then getting ready to go to work.
Okay, and there's also the Southern California
Yes.
Bounce Backers.
You can go to St. Felix, or you can go to my personal favorite down there in Santa Monica, the Browns Backers.
There you go. I am going to be in Pittsburgh.
Yes!
Oh, God. I hate Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Don't touch me.
Otherwise, I would also be at Big Wang's downtown Hollywood with the rest of the West Wing celebrating our win. What about you, brother?
I might just go to Jan's house and watch the game.
Shut up.
If I'm not there,
No.
I'll go to Gabe's to watch it.
All right, guys. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll be here next week.
Once a week, or every week
Once
now.
a week, regular season. I'm so excited.
Football!
In the meantime, we're going to sign off as we always do with Fuck the Patriots. See you next week, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Here we go. Steelers.
Shut up.